Man, that was
just a great game.
A great game. And for Philadelphia to come storming back like they did, down double digits, and then that was something.
Well, it was really a great team effort too. Sark was fantastic. Ben Simmons kind of brought himself back. He hadn't played well.
But what was the biggest play?
The J.J. Redick missed wide open three when Philly was up 4. That was huge. They were up 4. He could have put them up 7. I think that was it.
And he left it short.
He left it short. That was, to me, that was a big play right there.
You know, the good thing for Philly, even though they lost, they could say to themselves, we still had a chance. You know, that one home game in Philly where they threw the ball away late, very undisciplined. They lost that game, still had a chance to win this game. Even though they lost, they're going to be disappointed. They still can hang their heads very high because the future is really, really bright for those.
Or you can lift them up.
You know, that team.
Hold them high, yeah. But as you point out, a series like this, with the expectations where they were, but in the learning process and that whole thing, what do you do if you're Philadelphia right now to make sure that next time you're the guys moving on?
Well, I think the experience has definitely helped. Being in this environment, what happens when you're in the playoffs, maybe not the first round, but when you get to the second and conference finals, the carryover effect is the level of intensity that you play at during the regular season, because you realize how high you have to play at in the playoffs, and it carries over into the regular season, and you automatically play at a higher level than teams that aren't ready. The second thing is there are holes that were uncovered about the Philadelphia 76ers and about 2 guys who basically could possibly be the future of the league, Embiid and Ben Simmons. Both of those guys have holes in their game, and they have to work on it. Now, the hardest thing ever to do is when you're a great player or you're an all-star and someone says you're still not good enough. You're the rookie of the year possibly. You're still not good enough. And to actually take that in and believe it and go and work in the summertime, I'm interested to see if they're able to take that criticism because, as I'm saying, they're not good enough.
Yeah.
But they are the future of the league.
But what are the two things on that? For Ben Simmons, is it just the shot? And what is it?
Well, when you say just,
no, is it?
That's not just.
No, I'm just saying
that is a big thing.
No, is it being a threat from the outside?
Without
being able to shoot from the outside.
You have to be a free throw line jump shot.
Yeah, mid-range.
But number one, he's got the
mid-range jumper.
They got a couple of things. Ben free throws and not like a three-point. He's not good 12 to 15. But the elephant in the room is Markelle Fultz. That's the number one thing they got to make a decision on this summer. Embiid's going to be there. Simmons going to be there. But the elephant in the room is going to be Markelle Fultz. You cannot have the number one player in the draft and not play him at all.
Can he play?
I don't know the answer to that question, Shaq. You know, I wish I could. I haven't seen him play enough. He played sparingly down the stretch, but they did not trust him at all. And they're around him every single day. I thought, like I say, I don't want to
14 games in the regular season, all off the bench.
And but he didn't play at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think, I don't know, I haven't seen him play enough. I shouldn't say he could have helped him. But that's the number one thing. They got to make that decision going forward.
What's the first thing Joel Embiid has to work on in his game?
Well, I mean, fabulous player. I don't like to tell guys what to do, especially guys that were way more talented. But I would like to see him, his rule should be big guy my size or bigger, take him out. Guy Kenny, Chuck size, always go to the post. I mean, because a lot of times we felt he should have been in the post. He's out shooting threes. So as a big man, especially when you have, both talents. But again, when you have a guy that's smaller than you defending you, you should never shoot jumpers on that guy. So I think once he develops
so it's a shot recognition.
Yes, shot recognition. Yeah.
Shot recognition.
You know what?
Same size bigger, take him out, go around him. Guys smaller than you, no jump shots ever.
One of the strange things about this Celtic run, which continues now as they beat Philadelphia, the play of Terry Rozier, and this goes back to the first series when he mistakenly called Eric Bledsoe Drew Bledsoe, and then Drew Bledsoe, the former Patriot quarterback, kind of gets in on this act, and Rozier's wearing Bledsoe's jersey, and then tonight Bledsoe's wearing Rozier's jersey, and now in a postgame we have Drew Bledsoe.
I think the only thing I have to say is that I've been on the Chuck and Shaq diet for a little bit, so my jersey's a little bit tighter than it was back in the day. But anyway, hey man, this whole thing with Terry's been super fun. So proud of the Celtics and this whole thing that's going on. It's been fun going back and forth with Terry, but it's mostly been fun because the Celtics are playing great basketball, and I've been a fan for a long time.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who was that?
He was
quarterback for the New England Patriots.
You've never heard
who are
Drew
you,
Bledsoe?
Eric Bledsoe? All of a sudden,
No, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Drew Bledsoe is?
No, never heard of
He
him.
was a great quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
I was
For
about
the
to
New
say.
England Patriots.
Hey, Ernie, I got to say something about that.
He started?
You got to be joking.
Yeah, he was
He
great.
started? Oh.
He was
Yeah.
great.
I'm a Cowboys guy. I
Ernie,
don't know them people.
First of all, I want to say two things.
And Rafael Nogueira.
Yeah, exactly.
Baseball.
And I don't like being serious and we're just talking about basketball. It's a travesty that those coaches didn't give Brad Stevens a single vote. It's petty.
A single vote in what?
The coaches voted for the coach of the year.
Okay, coach.
Association
He did
of
not get-
Basketball Coaches, and
that
Dwayne
is-
Casey was
And
the coach of
Dwayne
the year
Casey
on their
deserved.
vote. Yeah.
Dwayne Casey
Who won?
deserves.
He won?
Dwayne Casey,
Dwayne Casey did.
who deserves Coach of the Year. But to not give Brad Stevens a single vote is just petty jealousy. You got to give that man credit. And I think the coaches they're better than that. Like I said, Dwayne Casey deserved it. Mike
But there were
D'Antoni
what were there
votes for
seven?
that?
What were there?
The
7
coaches,
or 8 other
okay.
coaches who were voted on in there. I mean,
But what he
7 or 8
did
other coaches
this
got
year,
votes,
and that's
Brad
the first
Stevens
thing.
wasn't one.
I just want to say that's just petty and jealous. And let me just say the second thing I want to say. Man, I can't believe these guys winning. To beat Milwaukee, not to beat the Sixers. This guy, the way he plugs guys in, gives them total confidence. Yeah, like Kenny, we always talk. A coach can't give you confidence,
But he can take it
He can
away.
take it away. What this guy and his coaching staff, like it's always the entire coaching staff, but what this guy does, and the thing that he does, and Shaq says this all the time too. If the general don't panic, the troops won't panic. Every time they show Brad Stevens on the sideline, you can't tell if he's winning or losing. It's remarkable, and I got to give that man his credit.